Hello there, Sue here from Sue's Paper Creations, and it is Saturday, so I have got a very quick and simple card for you. Today's card features the designer series paper stacks that we have in the catalog, and a lot of you don't know that they're there. They're kind of I think, a hidden treasure at the back of the book. They're on page 174, and when you look at the pictures, this is what you see. So you see the in colors, the designers. This is the designer series paper stack, which I'm going to be using today, and it comes in the brights, the regals, and the subtles. So when you look at the picture, it's easy just to pass by and not realize what an amazing value and item this is. So for $29 Canadian, I'm going to show you what you actually get. So this is one of the paper packs here, and this is actually the Regal collection. So just like our inks and our cardstocks, there is different families of colors. This is the Regal family, and this pack of paper actually has 40 12 by 12 sheets in it. And when you flip through, you can see that you have got writing, you have got flowers, and then on the other side is polka dots and stripes, and you actually get 4 sheets of each color. So there is 10 colors in a color family, and you actually get every single color family, every single color in that family, and you get 4 sheets of each color. You get 2 with the flowers and the stripes, and you get 2 with this very cute scripture and polka dots. So that is a lot of value for $29. So I just really wanted you to see what is actually in these designer series paper sacks, because they are a great deal. So I'm going to be using, I've just got little scraps left of one of the ones here. This is the Brights color. And I'm going to show you a very, very quick and easy card to put together. So I have just used different strips, as you can see on this one here, different strips of the designer series paper. And it doesn't matter which pack you go with. The Regals are all going to be a bunch of rich colors that are all going to go together. It doesn't matter which ones you pick out of there, it's going to make a beautiful card. Just like this was the bright colors, and I just grabbed 6 different colors and cut them into just over, I think this is 1 1/8 strips of paper. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I created these really quickly. Okay, so I'm going to just bring in my paper cutter, and I have got one of the sheets of designer series papers. I have got the one with flowers and stripes, and this is the old olive that's in there. And I'm going to bring in our Stampin' Cutter. Now, this cutter is amazing. I absolutely love it. I'm going to just line up. It has a little extended arm, and it's got all the measurements broken down into 1/16, which is great. It has both a score and a cutter. So I am going to just run down, and I'm going to cut a strip there of the green paper. Okay. Now, the next step for this card is going to decide, you get to decide whether you want to use circles or flowers, whatever little punches you might have in your drawer. Okay. For this one, I used the 1-inch circle punch. For these two, I actually used framelits. So I'm going to bring in the framelit, one from the, what have I got here? I love this Sunshine Wishes. I've used it quite a few times with you guys. And I'm going to bring in the little tiny flower that is in this set. Okay. I'm going to bring it with the Big Shot. Let me grab the Big Shot here. There we go. I'm going to bring this into the frame and just set it up. Okay, so I have got my Big Shot here. I have got a precision plate. Now I'm going to take my strip of designer series paper, and I'm just going to put it on that precision plate. I'm going to take whatever framelit that I'm going to use. Now you want to keep in mind that you want to use a framelit that is similar to the width of paper that you have cut. So if you wanted to, you could use a larger flower and maybe just do a couple strips down your paper and use a larger framelit. Okay, this little framelit here, this little flower, fits absolutely perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on just maybe a slight little angle here. And you can see how it, you know, nearly, it's very, very close to the edge, each side of the edge, that's what you want. And it's near the end. I'm going to just run that through, and I'm just going to back my camera up just a little bit here so it doesn't hit the handle. I'm going to run that through just like that. Because it's a long piece of paper, I'm just going to run it back and forth. Okay, I'm going to get my machine out of the way, and I'm going to show you what I ended up with here. Okay, so now what I've got is I have got this little tiny piece that was cut off the end. I'm going to throw that out. I have got this little piece here that the little tiny thinlet kind of went into there. I'm just going to trim that little edge off there. So I'm just going to pull it. It's so thin on the edges, you can just pull it, and you want to leave that little tiny tip there, and you'll see when I build the card why you want to do that. I'm going to bring in my little tiny die brush here, and I'm just going to get the little piece of paper here out of, see how quick and easy that is? I'm just going to get my little shape out of there. There we go. Like that. So there is my little flower. Okay. Now your next step, I have gone ahead and I've actually done the other two ahead of time. Okay. So there is my 3 strips of color. And I have got my 1, 2, 3 little flowers that were cut from it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in just a white piece of cardstock. Now I happen to measure the cardstock 4 by 5 1/4 just because I wanted that little tiny bit of paper around the card base, because your standard card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I wanted to have just a little 1/4 of an inch, or not even that, around the edge. Okay, so I've got 4 by 5 1/4. And the way I'm going to lay this out is I'm just going to place my pieces of paper over top of this white cardstock. And I'm going to decide which order I want these in. So this is my thought process when I make this card. It is literally this easy. Okay, I think I'm going to want the green in the center. It's as easy as that. Now, the next thing I'm going to decide is, do I want, let's see, I'm going to do it different from this card so you can see the difference. So for this one, I did them kind of so that this flower was one length and then it kind of went down like that. Okay. For this one, I'm going to do it slightly different. I'm going to lay it out so that I have got maybe a longer one in the center, one up higher here, and one down lower there. Okay. So once you've decided whatever layout you want, you're strictly going to bring in your Stampin' Up! Adhesive here, their little tape runner, and I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive on the back, and I'm going to lay down that piece of paper, okay, to whatever length you want it to go down to. Okay, then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to do the same with the green. There we go. So that's the old olive, and again, that one I was going to put down a little lower so you could see what it looks like. I think that's perfect. You want to try and have them evenly spaced. Okay, then I have got the Melon Mambo, and for that one I'm going to go up a little higher. Okay, so there we go. So there is our 3 strips of Designer Series paper on our cardstock. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to trim these off. So you can do a couple things. I mean, you could bring in your trimmer if you wanted to and trim it off, but I'm just going to turn it over and just use a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to run my scissors across there and cut it even with the paper. Okay, so there we have it. All right, so we're starting to frame up. We're looking good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in these little tiny cutouts or flowers, whether it's flowers, circles, hearts. You could use one of the heart framelits as well. That would look super cute. So I'm going to bring in these, and now the next decision is, because they're all cut out of the same shape, you could do one of two things. You could line them all up so that the color actually matches with the strip, okay? Or for this one, I'm gonna stir it up a little. I'm gonna bring in my glue dots, which is what I adhere these to, and I'm going to just mix up the colors a little bit. So I'm gonna go with the pink on the blue, and I'm just gonna take a glue dot. Where are you? Okay, there you are. And I'm just gonna press that little flower onto there, lift it up nice and easy. And the reason why, now you can see why I wanted to keep these little tiny edges that that the flowers cut off. I didn't want to cut off those little tiny edges, the little points there, because that helps frame in this shape. Okay, so you're gonna pretty much line it up with where it would have been cut out of, and then drop it down. Maybe not even 1/4 of an inch, just like that, okay? And then you're gonna do the next one. You can see how quick this is. So easy to do, and these papers are so bright and playful, these bright colors. I love them. It's easy to put together the cards. Okay, just like that. Okay, so we have got all our flowers on there, looking good. Okay, then all you have to do is bring in a little bit of ribbon that you've got laying around. I'm going to use the organza ribbon that we've got in the catalog. This is just plain white organza ribbon. Now, this is another little treasure in the catalog that I will do a little tip on this. Actually, I'm going to save it. I'm going to do a little tip on this ribbon on Tuesday, and I'm going to show you something pretty cool with it, but you're going to have to just wait till Tuesday. I was going to tell you, but nope, I don't want to spill it, so you'll have to wait. I think that's going to be a tip that I'm going to share with you. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use my glue dots again. I'm just going to attach a little glue dot on each side there like that. I am going to wrap this around the top of the card. It just kind of breaks up the strips of color and adds a little something, as I always like to do. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, you could go to any of your stamp sets, any of your sayings, and you could either add a little happy birthday on there. I have got thank you for everything and more. I think that's quite nice actually with the gray. So I used a little smoky slate in behind this one just to break up the colors and put another neutral in there. So I'm gonna just frame that in a little bit of smoky slate like that. And I am going to bring in a card base. So I picked the Pacific Point to match the blue that is in the designer series papers. And I'm going to pop this over, add a few little dimensions like this. Okay. All right, let's bring in our card base. And when there isn't a whole lot of dimension to the actual card, I like to pop up that top panel. It really does make a difference. A very slight difference, but it really adds something to the card when it's just popped up just slightly like that. And I'm also going to pop out this little saying like that. And I'm going to put that across the card. Okay. So there you have it. Very quick and easy card using those designer series paper stacks. Now, what you also may not know is in the back of the catalog is package of enamel dots. So the package of designer series papers that we used was the bright colors for all of these cards. And you can see, I'm going to bring in the rest of them here. This one I went a little different direction, did the circles. This was another framelits from the Rose Wonder Thinlit set. And just to top it off, I brought in the enamel dots. And again, you buy them in color families. So just like in the Designer Series paper stacks, you get all 10 colors. When you buy the enamel dots, you get one sheet like this of all 10 colors. And it has got, I'm gonna just put my hand in behind there, it has got stars, hearts, and 2 size dots, okay? So this is the perfect little accessory to add to this card. So you could, if you wanted to, you could add little tiny dots in the centers of these little flowers, which is super cute. I'm just pulling in, there's the Melon Mambo, Pacific Point, and I do believe there's the sheet there for the Old Olive. So again, that just adds a little something. And I'm also going to put, let's just put a little something on here as well. Maybe a little star in the green. And where's the blue? There's the blue, and maybe a little one in the blue as well. So it's the perfect little match to your Designer Series paper stack. So enamel dots and Designer Series paper stacks. 2 of our hidden treasures in the back of the catalog. So quick and easy cards you can make. Have a look. You can also use your elegant butterfly punch with 3 strips. That looks beautiful. I've done that before. So I hope you experiment with this and get yourself one of those packs of paper, because you could make hundreds and hundreds of cards out of one stack. That's 40 sheets of 12 by 12. So you could have really quick and easy, bright, colorful cards. Or if you want the pastels or regals, they look beautiful as well. Okay, so hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give me a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe, because I have got lots of tips and other Simple Saturday cards on there for you to see past, and there will be tons in the future. So yeah, have a good weekend. Again, this is Sue from Sue's Paper Creations, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me.